Greetings, traveler. What makes working in a game development team fun? Today I'm going to share the one workplace event that completely changed my experience working in a game development team like that. And I'm going to share the two most amazing benefits that I felt from that event over my working time in that team. My name is Xanthos. I've been working in the games industry for 13 years and counting now, and actually for about 10 different companies during that time. That wasn't working exclusively for 10 particular companies, but it's 10, at least 10 places that I experienced in various projects or in various collaborations over the years. And one thing I noticed is that there was this one example where I became friends so easily with the people I worked with that even though that was more than 5, 6 years ago, basically the people we were working together, we all formed a group of friends and we're still friends to this day, even though we're not even working in that company anymore. And that goes for all of us. So what made that situation possible, and what was different about this one company that created this group of friends for everyone, and that same experience was never replicated for any other company I worked for or any other project I participated in different companies. So what was it? The company was Electronic Arts. It was their studio back in Tokyo. Here, unfortunately, the studio doesn't exist anymore. But during that time, there was this one workplace event that really changed everything. It was called Happy Friday. And basically, what the company did was on Fridays at 6 p.m., which is an hour before our workday was supposed to finish for the week. So we were supposed to finish at 7 p.m. That event started at 6 p.m. The company would simply invite everybody to the pantry, and the pantry was just an area with 3 tables, two couches, and a refrigerator and a kitchen. So nothing extremely fancy, but still very nice to have in a studio. And they would say that everybody gets one can of drinks, and yes, there was alcoholic drinks there as well, but you weren't supposed to work anymore. So essentially, we were getting 1 hour of pay time for free, if you think about it that way. So by 6 p.m. on Friday, work was supposed to be over, and we were invited by the studio to head over to the pantry, relax, talk, enjoy at least one drink per person that we were getting for free. It was fine to drink alcohol then, and one ice cream or one little dessert that also the studio prepared for us for free. So it doesn't sound like much, right? It's not a huge expense on the studio's side. It's not an unheard of activity. So why was this special? Well, first of all, first reason is I think it's just so wonderful to have a chance to talk to people who are outside of your particular team. So my team back then was game design, so I would daily talk to game designers, maybe some engineers, maybe some art people. But when you work in a certain place, people tend to form these islands. So you have all these desks in a room, and that corner is for game designers, and that corner is for artists, and so on. And you're not really supposed to go and talk to them because everyone's busy, everyone has all these things to do. So normally most people kind of like stay within their own island, as I call them, and there's not many chances to interact with people outside. You know their names, but you don't know who they are. You don't know what they like. You don't know what motivation they have for working in the games industry. You don't know what games they like. You don't know what skills they have. Me personally, I felt that if I knew all these things, I could do my work so much better. So that environment provided just that. So people I wouldn't normally talk to during the workday, that was the perfect opportunity for me to talk to them, and it would be fine because everybody would be there, everybody would be relaxing, enjoying their drinks, enjoying the ice cream. There was even a TV with uh, consoles, so some people were playing Street Fighter or Smash Brothers or whatever. It is the prime gamer relaxing environment, in my opinion. So, knowing people like that is knowing them beyond the normal work relationship, right? So the normal work relationship is, hello, I need this from you. Can you get it to me? When can you get it to me? Okay, thanks. That's all you. That's the bare minimum you need to do to get something done at work. But there's so much more than that, right? I think the games industry is unique in that way because we don't just do it for the money. We love this thing. We love what we do. We want to do it as good as possible. So knowing who else you're working with and what they like and what their particular skills are and like who they are as people, in my opinion, is just amazing. Like why wouldn't you want your team to be friends with each other and hang out with each other and feel good working together? So having that environment, I think, was a huge benefit. And the testament to that is all the people that I'm still friends with and we still go out regularly, even though none of us are working for Electronic Arts anymore. So that was reason one. Reason two why I think this event was amazing is because we got to talk about our game. Yes, the game that we were developing. We got to talk about it in that environment, right? And you might think, well, what's so special about that? You talk to these people every day. You talk about the game to these people every day. Why does it make a difference to talk about the game in that setting? Well, what I discovered was that people have this serious mode when they're working, and when they're not working, they switch to their relaxed mode. When you talk about the game when you're in this serious work mode, you want to appear very controlled and very intelligent and very hardworking and that you care. So if in that environment, somebody says a silly idea, they feel embarrassed. Or if in that environment your boss says we should do so and so, you don't really want to challenge that because that would appear disrespectful and you would be working against the game. However, when you're relaxing and you're just having drinks, maybe some people were, even drunk at the time, but who cares? You can say your opinion. You can say, I think our game needs this, or our game would be so much fun if we added that element. Or I played this other game that has this feature, maybe we should have that feature too. And that is so close to the concept of play and just saying things and just toying with ideas for the fun of it, that had a profound effect on the quality of the game. So if we hadn't done that, there would be at least a good 30% of the features that we included in the final game that wouldn't have existed. And all of them were features loved by the players. Also, when you're developing a game, it's really hard to talk about its negative points and what you think is not good about the game. When you try it, you know what you don't like, but you think, that's probably just me. Probably the game director has a better idea in his head of why this is necessary or why this is good. I shouldn't talk about it, is the decision most people come to when they play the game they're developing. But in that environment, in that like light-hearted fun, like people are laughing, people are yelling, playing Street Fighter, people are just making jokes all around. In that environment, you can just say anything. You're like, oh man, I hate how our game, does this, or I hate how boring this part is in our game. And then just by voicing that, other people can react. Other people can say, you know what, I hate it too. Or, yeah, instead of doing this, why don't we do that other game does? Those opinions become the seed of the feature suggestions and the tickets that will get generated the next day to make the game better. And this happened because that environment allowed people to relax and voice their opinion in a playful and in a low risk way. Nobody gets insulted if you just say something in that environment. Nobody takes it seriously. Nobody's gonna come and tell you, why are you saying that? Don't you like how good our game is already? No one cares. You're just relaxing. You're not working at that time. So, like I said, a good 30% of the features that were included in the final game came specifically from conversations that were had in the pantry during Happy Fridays. And those Happy Fridays were happening every Friday. And they were a very, very small expense for the studio, especially given the huge positive effect that at least I feel they had in the game development team, and most importantly, the final game product that we were able to deliver. So these are my thoughts on this topic. I don't know if either other companies are doing that. In my experience, all the other companies I experienced working for and working with didn't do it. So I didn't really make any friends in those other companies. But if you have that experience, or if you did manage to make a lot of friends in a workplace despite not having a similar Happy Friday event, please tell me about it. I would really like to know. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, and as always, have fun.